Good afternoon and welcome to Premier League Live this Saturday afternoon. Another Premier League weekend is well underway, and we're in East London as Manchester United come to town to the London Stadium where they don't have fond recent memories. Manchester United in their last away game were able to perform despite all of their recent injury concerns, and it's just got worse for them. Can they do even better today with a probably less experienced squad? David Moyes' side were well humbled at Anfield on Wednesday night. They'll be hoping for a bounce back as they look to move 6th in the Premier League table with a win. Two sides in indifferent form as of recent times, and both will want to win here this afternoon. To the teams this afternoon for these two sides, and West Ham start with Alphonse Areola in goal. A back four of Vladimir Sofal. Kurt Zuma comes back into the side and captains West Ham today. Mavropanos and Emerson make up the back four. In midfield, Edson Alvarez and Thomas Soucek keep their places despite that 5-1 defeat to Liverpool on Wednesday night, with James Ward-Prowse joining them in midfield, the front three which is unchanged from their previous Premier League game of Mohamed Kudus, Lucas Paquetá and Jared Bowen leading the line. On the bench for the Hammers today, Fabianski, who was in goal on Wednesday night, Kehrer, Johnson, Ogbonna, Cresswell, Fornals, Benrahma, Mubama and Danny Ings make up David Moyes' team's bench. For Erik ten Hag's Manchester United, they weren't in midweek action, and they start with some interesting team news this afternoon. Andre Onana starts in goal, a back four of Aaron Wan-Bissaka and a debut for Willy Kambwala, an 18-year-old French player from the Manchester United under-21 squad, and he starts alongside Johnny Evans at centre-back, with Luke Shaw making up the defence. In midfield, youth continues to be the watchword for Manchester United as Kobbie Mainoo starts in a defensive two with Scott McTominay, and Bruno Fernandes, who captains the side, makes up the midfield with an attacking three of Alejandro Garnacho, Antony and Rasmus Højlund. On the bench for Manchester United, Biendir, Reguilon, Bennett, Mabry, Pellistri, Eriksson, Rashford, Van de Beek and Sofyan Amrabat. Manchester United looking for a bounce back. They had a positive performance against Liverpool and the first team to take points off Liverpool at Anfield this season. West Ham weren't able to follow that one up in midweek, but they'll want to win in the Premier League to push themselves up back into European places. Kickoff between West Ham and Manchester United is on the way next. Good afternoon and welcome to Premier League Live on LFS this afternoon. West Ham back at home for their final game of the season, or final game of the year in 2023, a year that will not be forgotten by West Ham fans for a long, long time. A European trophy lifted in the summer, and now a positive start to the season and looking to make it a winning end to 2023 against Manchester United, who themselves will want to end this pretty terrible year on a very positive note. And a win away at West Ham is not a bad thing to do when you're not in good form. And we're underway then. Manchester United get us underway. West Ham in their traditional claret and blue home kit. Man United trying to repeat of last Sunday. They want to repeat the result, and they've kept the same kit, all white strip for Manchester United this afternoon. Well, we'll see how both of these sides react to their last performances. Both, of course, played Liverpool last in their last games. Very different defensive performances, especially in that one. West Ham conceding 5 at Anfield on Wednesday night. A really poor performance defensively from West Ham overall. And David Moyes will want to solidify his side. The last 2 away games in a row for West Ham did end up with West Ham on the wrong side of 5 goals. Kudus wins the ball back off Garnacho. positive start for West Ham there. Winning the ball back, not allowing Manchester United to take the sting out of the game early on. Here's Kudus. Pressed by Luke Shaw and has to go all the way back around to Kurt Zouma on the left hand side. To Emerson. Back to Zouma. All the way back to Areola, who will knock it long. Nice run in field by Sofal. Nice check. Paquetá. Zouma. Manchester United trying to press West Ham high here. But good passing from West Ham keeps them on the ball. Here's Mavropanos. Through the lines. Finds Kudus in space. Got options wide. Goes for Sofal. And back to Mavropanos. Kudus. That's a push by Luke Shaw and Mohamed Kudus. And that'll be a West Ham free kick. Well, nice switch ball there from West Ham. Paquetá linking up with Emerson. Couldn't keep it in play. The referee this afternoon, by the way, is Simon Hooper. If anyone's ever interested in that. And not a very interesting character, Simon Hooper, but who knows? Here's Johnny Evans. Well, a lot of talk since the team news has come out about Manchester United's centre-back partnership of Johnny Evans and Willy Cambuala. I mean, if we told Manchester United fans 6 to 8 months ago that their centre-back partnership would be an 18-year-old who's never made a senior appearance for Manchester United, and Johnny Evans, a guy who left Manchester United quite a few years ago for other different, well, pastures new, because he wasn't good enough. If we told them that was their centre-back partnership, they wouldn't have believed you. Most certainly not. I mean, they would have called you a nut. But here we are. Let's see how the young player performs. Ward-Prowse, especially with the real quality and attack that West Ham have. Bowen trying to link up with Ward-Prowse, and the through ball was well covered over by Johnny Evans, who can fire the ball long, which will allow West Ham to recover. Here's Emerson driving in field, finds it to Kudus. Space is opening up. Finds it to Sofal now on the edge of the United box. Body's in the way. Now Emerson, he's drifted over to the right. Finds it to Paquetá. Emerson again in the strike. Palmed away by Onana. Still alive though. Here's Paquetá. Trying to find an opening. Does get the cross in. And cleared away by Luke Shaw. And followed up by Johnny Evans. But good pressure from West Ham. And really good in possession. Not much kind of fight from United there. Sofal with a cross. Kampala with a clearance, and a shot from distance by James Ward-Prowse, skied over the bar. That's positive from West Ham. Really, really good. Really nice from Emerson, the shot, and then good from Paquetá to keep it alive and keep the pressure on the United defence. But credit to them, not allowing West Ham to end up finding that opening goal. Now they have it back with Onana after that goal kick. Here's Cambuala. Pressure put on by Jared Bowen, but the last touch came off the West Ham player, and that'll be a Manchester United throw on the right hand side. Throw in, Wan-Bissaka, brought down by Mainu. Actually had a very good performance against Liverpool last weekend. Kobe Mainu, a lot of talk since he's been into the Man United side. He's put in very positive performances in that midfield, and that's clearly why Erik ten Hag is stuck with him. Feels that he's doing a job that other players in the team can't do at the moment. He's only 18 years of age himself, Kobe Mainu, so youthful, shall we say, for Manchester United. Lovely from Wan-Bissaka. Spins away from his man. Finds it to Hoyland, who came deep and tried to spread the ball wide for McTominay, but Emerson got in the way of that one and put it out for the throw-in. There was space through the middle there for Rasmus Hoyland to run into. Throw in by Wan-Bissaka. Kambwala. Now Evans. Well, interestingly enough, for West Ham, and probably why they're performing so well, they've used the least amount of players in the Premier League this season. 22 players used in the Premier League this campaign. That's the lowest of any other teams, any of the Premier League sides, and that'll be a throw into West Ham. Really good from Mohamed Kudus, actually. The referee's overruled the assistant there, and Man United get the throw in. Bit of confusion from the officials there. Kambwala. Of course, in place of Raphael Varane, who was arguably player of the match for Manchester United against Liverpool last week. Was involved in every tackle, every clearance, every piece of defending. He was there leading the line and leading his group. But not involved today, Raphael Varane. Anthony looking for the switch ball. Hoyland, or Garnacho, sorry, did try to get him involved on the ball, but he just lost out there, and West Ham have the ball back. Not much expectation, really, for Manchester United today, despite they have a pretty good experienced forward line, and Hoyland, Fernandes, Anthony, Garnacho. I mean, their numbers aren't fantastic, but there's experience there. Whether that will be enough to get you a result in a tough area, tough place like the London Stadium to come to. Oh, pressure on the ball there. Shaw had to clear it away and fire it long. And now Man United have it back as Alvarez couldn't keep the possession from that clearance. Here's Garnacho. Back to Luke Shaw on the left hand side. Bruno Fernandes, who's drifted out to that left, looking for the switch ball. Really good switch ball to Wan-Bissaka. Now McTominay. Anthony lifts it over the top, away by Mavropanos, and trying to nick onto the ball was Ward-Prowse there, but good strong defending by Kambwala, and Mainu there getting involved. McTominay. Now Wan-Bissaka. Back to Kambwala. And all the way back to Andre Onana. No risks needed to be taken there by Manchester United. Johnny Evans. Ball over the top. Looking for Rasmus Hoyland, but cleared away again by West Ham. And now they fire it long, looking for Jared Bowen, but Evans does well at his defensive header. And Man United have the ball with Luke Shaw driving down the left hand side. Nice quick interchange between Shaw and Garnacho, and Shaw's cross deflects off Edson Alvarez and into the hands of Alphonse Areola. Bit better for Manchester United. Really good link up between Shaw and Garnacho on that left hand side. 1-2. Give and go. Paquetá. Back to Kurt Zouma. Here's Sofal. Back to Mavropanos. Now Kudus. Trying to keep the possession, and he did so, as there was a handball against Luke Shaw there, so West Ham will get a free kick. And a free kick, a switch ball by Mavropanos. Paquetá. Trying to find options, finds Ward-Prowse. Back to Paquetá. Nice movement from West Ham. Ball over the top, looking for the wide ball. Did find Sofal. Options in the box. Here's Kudus. Drifted wide. Puts the ball in, back post. Paquetá was waiting, but good from Wan-Bissaka. Good defensive header and took the pressure away. And now Anthony, good carry. Finds McTominay. Fernandez. Evans now. Through to Anthony on the halfway line. Very fluid start from both teams, not sticking their players to one position. Bruno Fernandes. Nice run by Garnacho. Running through the middle. Still going into the box and looking for the cross. That deflects off Edson Alvarez and out for a Manchester United corner. More positive, and Garnacho running through. West Ham didn't want to get in the way. Kind of similar to how they defended Curtis Jones at Anfield on Wednesday night when just let him run through. Eventually did get the tackle in the end through Edson Alvarez, and Man United will have a corner. Shaw to take, left footed. Out swinging corner, headed away by West Ham. And Kudus trying to keep the possession but given away now. Fernandez with a cross. Back post there, cleared away by Emerson. Now Bowen trying to carry it forward, but he couldn't carry it anywhere other than straight out of play. Man United throw in. Now one man who'll be looking to get on the score sheet this afternoon is the man in quite good form at this moment in time, and that's Jarrod Bowen. 10 Premier League goals this season. Only 2 players in the Premier League have more, and that's Salah and Erling Haaland, with 14 and 11 respectively in the Premier League this season. So certainly a real threat for Manchester United to keep an eye on, especially now playing through the middle. Jarrod Bowen, more of a focal point for West Ham's attacks rather than coming off that right hand side, as we're so used to seeing. He does use his pace beautifully down that right, but Kudus is occupying that position at the moment. Here's Luke Shaw for Manchester United. Inside the West Ham half. Mainu, back to Shaw. Across to Kambwala. All the United outfield players inside the West Ham half. Anthony. Now Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Back to Anthony. Good link up there again. McTominay getting involved and Højlund. Although Anthony's pass to Fernandez is misplaced, and that allows West Ham back on the ball. And allows Paquetá to pick it up. And Sofal trying to run through. He's felt he was pushed there, Sofal, by Luke Shaw, I think, but will be a Man United throw-in. Referee Simon Hooper says it was no foul and felt there was nothing in that. I'll see a replay of it. It did look a bit like a foul initially. Sofal taking the ball away from Shaw. I mean, there's not much in it really. Shaw does put his hands on Sofal, but I mean, he throws himself to the floor as soon as he feels contact there. Vladimir Sofal, so that's never a foul. And pretty correct from the referee in the end. So it will be a Manchester United throw-in. Pretty much 15 minutes gone at the London Stadium this afternoon, and not much to say about either side on attack so far. One or two runs forward, but West Ham have had the only shot on target of the afternoon. The only shot of the afternoon. Remember, it took them 70 minutes to get a shot against Liverpool at the weekend, or at the midweek in the cup. We ended up scoring. Jarrod Bowen on the score sheet, the only man to score for West Ham on Wednesday night. Here's Mavropanos. Zuma. Through the lines. Paquetá in space. Zuma gets the ball back and battling to keep the possession against Rasmus Højlund there. Did keep the ball. It's one thing I've noticed about West Ham as well. Very good close control of the football. I'm sure that's something David Moyes will want to focus on, because he knows that his side will be battling pretty close with others. That's good from Ward-Prowse, and Bowen couldn't get the catch on it. Completely miscontrolled the ball there. Not one of his best. It's good move down the right hand side. And Ward-Prowse just, he was the focal point of the West Ham attack there. The ball whipped up right up front for Ward-Prowse. He knocked it back to Bowen, and Bowen on the edge just kind of side-footed it well wide of the right-hand post, dragged it well wide, and pretty much nothing doing there for the Manchester United defence in the end. But give openings to Jared Bowen like that, and surely sooner rather than later he will find the right connection and will put it under pressure of Andre Onana. It's good from Garnacho. Wins the throw in off Mohamed Kudus to Johnny Evans. And one thing about Manchester United, it was important that they did get a bit on the ball. And we did find their passing lanes pretty quickly, because it settles them into the game, and the last thing they want to do is be unsettled, especially with a young defender in the back four. Will be, of course, well coached by other experienced defenders in there for Manchester United. That's pretty poor from Anthony, though. Straight out of play, looking for the wide ball. I think he forgot himself. He's the right winger, and he put it straight out of play for a West Ham throw-in. But early pressure on the Man United defence would have really unsettled them and panicked them, really, where it's given them confidence that they've been able to grow into the game, and the game really hasn't been able to get going yet. Only benefits Manchester United. They've had more of the ball than West Ham so far, 60% of the ball. Man United to West Ham's 40, but they haven't had a single shot in the game yet. They've had a corner, not a shot. Here's Kudus, though. Nice brick of the ball, spins from the pass, and he runs into bodies there for Manchester United, who can now carry it away through Anthony. Really good from Emerson, though, on the cover. Put it out for the throw-in again, but first real glimpse of Mohamed Kudus' pace there. In that moment, that time he couldn't find the space past the Manchester United defenders. West Ham did beat Manchester United in the last fixture between the two back in May. 1-0 win here. If we remember, that was the game where Said Benrahma had kind of an optimistic shot from the edge of the box, and David De Gea basically palmed it into his own net on that occasion. That was the difference. Although West Ham probably the better of the two teams on the day that day. And they came out with the 3 points. It's West Ham's only win at home against Manchester United in all competitions since way back in September 2018 was the last time before that game in May. Man United have a good record against West Ham recently. If we disregard that last result, Manchester United in the Premier League have won all of the last 5 prior to that against West Ham, and it is the first time they'd failed to score against West Ham since that 2-0 defeat back in September 2019. So a rare poor result for Manchester United in this fixture back in May, but they'll need something different this afternoon. Bruno Fernandes tried to find Højlund there, and really good defended by Emerson, and then the ball well marshalled out of play by Kurt Zouma. Really strong defending, and Højlund just couldn't try and get the ball back Really good defending from West Ham there. Here is Kurt Zouma then. Emerson. Paquetá tried to find Souček on the run, and Souček did do well recovering the ball. Ward-Prowse. Nice Sofal. Back to James Ward-Prowse. Has to go backwards. A misplaced pass from Ward-Prowse. But he will have the ball back. Spreads it wide. Kudus has made a run down the right hand side. Kudus cuts it back into the box. Too short for Bowen. But the flag goes up eventually against Mohamed Kudus. And that will be a Man United free kick. But again, a constant turn of pace from West Ham. Well, we compare last season to this season for West Ham. After 17 games, they have double the amount of wins, more than double the amount of goals, and quite less goals, more goals conceded, but they have been able to keep that goal difference record positive, which is crucial. "27 points from their first 17 games for David Moyes' side this season. Sitting in 8th at the moment. They can, of course, improve. We can go up to 6th this afternoon with a win. Of course, Newcastle do play at 3 o'clock. They can regain that position, but if they go to Luton and win, but West Ham will want to occupy that for at least a few hours or so. Manchester United, if they win, they could go 6th and they could close the gap to that top 5 to just 2 points between them and Tottenham if they emerge victorious today, Manchester United. But so far, neither side are causing the other massive issues at the moment. And I mean, I don't know who that benefits more. Probably Manchester United, because they're the away team. Well, West Ham get the advantage here, although that advantage doesn't last very long. Ball goes out of play for a throw-in. It'll allow Simon Hooper to stop the game because there's a player down for West Ham. I think it might be Emerson. There's a Paquetá. It is Paquetá. His challenge, his battle with Kobe Mainoo, they both kind of fell over each other. There's not much in that. Nothing more than just a advantage. And then we'll continue with this throw in then. West Ham on the left hand side. Thrown in by Emerson, linking up with Ward-Prowse. Now back to Emerson at the byline. Cuts it across and will be take a deflection. And it will be a corner to West Ham. Initially it looked like Emerson had just put that straight out of play, but it was a nick off a Manchester United player, and that will be a West Ham corner. Their first of the afternoon, which gets applause from around the London Stadium, and West Ham fans getting a bit more positive. 25 minutes gone, 0-0, and Ward-Prowse to put his first set piece in of the afternoon. Right-footed delivery, headed away by United, and then Garnacho with the clearance. Really good defensively there for United to get the first header on the ball and get it as far away as possible. Here's Sofal though. Alvarez to Mavropanos. Now back to Ward-Prowse as West Ham slowly move back into their usual shape. Players get back to their usual positions. Long ball from Areola, latched upon by Souček, and Paquetá trying to chase the ball, but to no avail. Straight out of play for a throw-in. The ball's been out of play quite a bit of this game so far. Well, this game hasn't started particularly fantastically so far. It's been a pretty even game so far between the two teams. in terms of pressure on each other's defences, but West Ham looked the better at finding a positive outlook and an outlet in attack. And they have the ball back in midfield and wide for Sofal. Now Kudus made a run against Luke Shaw, battling with Shaw, and he done really, really well, did Luke Shaw there. Good link up between Fernandez and Mainu. Fires a ball forward. Hoyland on the chase, but good from Mavropanos to break it apart. Now Alvarez. The game's kind of opened up a bit now. A bit more energy, a bit more movement, a bit more space. Ward-Prowse. Now the ball wide to Emerson. Paquetá fires one forward. Too much for Bowen, but Man United, no, unforced there. Clearance by Johnny Evans. Wasn't necessary, should have let his keeper come for it, but West Ham have the ball back. Here's Kudus. Back to Alvarez. Nice Sofal, wide on the right. Puts a cross in, a deep one. First to the head was Scott McTominay. And Luke Shaw does keep it in. Everyone around the stadium thought it was a corner, but he did well to keep it in play, Luke Shaw. Only as far as the throw-in goes, though, because West Ham got a throw-in. Emerson. Paquetá. Continued his run was Emerson and couldn't continue the possession. And Garnacho puts it straight out of play for a throw-in. Off Emerson. Well, Thomas Souček has gone down. He's needs a bit of attention from the physios. There might be blood. The referee's actually said that he's have a cut, so we'll see what happens there. So a bit of a break in play, which allows me to tell you it's been a bit more energetic in the Championship game at Elland Road between Leeds United and Ipswich. Of course, two high flyers in the Championship this season. Second and third meet this afternoon at Elland Road, and so far the home side have been on top. 2 shots on target, 2 goals. Pascal Struijk with the first one, and Leif Davis own goal for the second, as Leeds 2-0 up against Ipswich in the Championship. That kind of burst it all open. If Leicester go on to win later this afternoon against Rotherham and Ipswich go to lose, and then Leicester will go 6 points clear of Ipswich, who will be only 7 points ahead of Leeds United, who they are currently losing to. The Championship certainly much more going on there this afternoon. We'll keep you to date with that scoreline right the way through this afternoon's game. Souček, after getting a bit of treatment then, walking to the sidelines. Of course, the new protocols: if you do receive treatment on the pitch, you have to be off the pitch for at least 30 seconds before you can be waved back into play. I mean, I don't understand why that's a rule, but who knows. I mean, they tried to bring it in because they felt that players were faking injuries to stop the game, but I mean, when you do have an actual genuine injury, is it necessary? Here's Kambuala to Shaw now for Manchester United. 30 minutes gone, and by each 15-minute increment, Manchester United will be the happier of the two teams. Feeling coming into this game that confidence is not at where it should be at the club, and injuries still causing a massive issue. That will be a worry, but they do have options off the bench in attacking areas. And Marcus Rashford is one of the most notable on the bench for United today. And some experience that they've not called upon today, in the likes of Sofian Amrabat and Christian Eriksen, both on the bench this afternoon. Erik ten Hag's continued to stick with Mainu and McTominay in midfield, and so far it seems to have, I mean, worked out slightly. That's a good link up there. Shot. Really highly involved. And now Garnacho down the left-hand side. A chance for United here. Cross. But really good goalkeeping by Alphonse Areola. Knew what Garnacho was trying to do and got a good catch on the ball when it came towards him. Came into the 6-yard box there. Garnacho's cross and straight into the hands of Alphonse Areola. Really smart goalkeeping there. United on the ball again. Mainu to Wan-Bissaka. Easily drifts into midfield, and now Højlund's come a bit deeper. Gives it out wide to Anthony on the right flank. Better from United in attack. Cuts it back to Fernandes. Has time and space to get it to Anthony, who will strike, but straight into the hands of Alphonse Areola again. Again, it's the similar trademark Anthony strike. Cuts in from the right hand side and takes a shot with his left foot. More times than not, it's either wide or in the goalkeeper's hands. No offence to him, but I mean, let's be honest. Anthony was regarded as one of the big money signings of last season. So far, he's not been, tearing up ground. Yet to score a Premier League goal this season. And only scored 4 in all of last season in 25 games. He's already played 13 this season and has yet to put the ball in the back of the net in the Premier League. Anthony. West Ham have a free kick here. On the left hand side, just inside the United half. Ward-Prowse, of course, to take it. Very, very high line from Manchester United. They drop back eventually. Ball comes in. And there's a foul in there somewhere that the referee had saw. I don't know where he's seen it, but he's given a free kick against West Ham. So that comes to an end pretty quickly. I mean, it's really not been the most exciting half of football so far. I mean, game is not what it could be, definitely. And that only benefits Manchester United. The lack of tempo and pace and energy in the game. The slower the game, the better it ends up for United. And pressure on Onana there, trying to find his out ball. Couldn't find that. Mavropanos has it back for West Ham. Sofal, good from Kudus. Really good endeavour. Oh, but the ball back to Zuma is given away. Now Anthony, through ball for Garnacho. Oh, big save by Areola. Massive opportunity for Manchester United. West Ham make a slight mistake. It was Kudus. Really good endeavour initially to keep the possession. Tries to play it back to his centre-backs. Kind of telegraphs a pass right to Kurt Zuma. Completely misses it. And then Anthony picks it up through the middle and just plays a lovely ball in behind of Garnacho, who had run off the back of the defenders. But really good goalkeeping by Alphonse Areola. Got in the way of Garnacho, and that ended up coming to an end. But Man United needed to try and capitalise upon that mistake, because that's their game plan, it seems, at the moment. Wait for something to happen and try and pounce upon it. Moments. That was a pretty big moment there for United. Will give them confidence. Højlund. Now Fernandes wide for Wan-Bissaka, who has miles of space to run into. Wan-Bissaka back in field to Mainu. Need to keep the pace in this attack, United. Anthony battling, loses out. And now Kudus can speed away for West Ham. It's 2-on-2. Kudus to Bowen. Man United trying to flood bodies back. Bowen with a cross, blocked by Evans, and behind for the corner. It was really good from Johnny Evans, had to be there, as that cross was just perfect for Kudus from Bowen, and Evans got in the way of it and put it behind for the West Ham corner. But Man United flooded so many bodies back in time, just in time. Got in the way of Jared Bowen. Bowen was so quick to take it to the so-called weaker of the two centre-backs for United, although some would argue both are as bad as each other. Although there's an untested young player here, so we're not going to criticise too early. Camboala. Corner for West Ham then. Ward-Prowse again. Third time's a charm from a set piece. Right-footed crossing. Really good header cleared. And that will be another free kick. Simon Hooper this time. Giving the free kick to Manchester United. Again, I mean, I don't know where the foul was. I'm not being honest, but I don't know where Simon Hooper's seeing these fouls. Just seeing the replay of the Manchester United chance. Yeah. You can see it where Garnacho should have took it onto his left, because if he takes it onto his right, his body's not in the right position to try and strike it across goal. That's why it kind of gets caught underneath his feet and he strikes it straight at Areola. His body shape wasn't the right way for him to try and strike it across goal. This has probably been the best spell of the game the last 3 or 4 minutes. Both sides have had a pretty good attack. Manchester United is probably the better of the two in terms of chance of scoring. Pressure on Mainu. Shaw has to fire it clear after getting that ball from Kobe Mainu, but really good defending by Mavropanos to win it back. And now Edson Alvarez. Better from West Ham. We could have an exciting end to the half. Caught in possession was Paquetá. And then Anthony couldn't find the pass, but then Garnacho gets past Mavropanos and the strike is just over the bar. Takes a deflection though. And Garnacho, the real kind of main attacking player for United at the moment. He's the one creating the chances. I mean, Anthony wins the ball back. It's poor initially, but Mavropanos completely miscontrols the ball and Garnacho catches him out. Gets the ball back, bursts of pace down the left-hand side from Alejandro Garnacho. Tries to go for the strike with his right foot. Does kind of take a deflection of a West Ham player and over the bar for a corner. But I mean, again, Man United chances coming from West Ham being a bit sloppy on the ball. Fernandez goes short with a corner to Shaw. Back to Fernandez, trying to work an angle. Garnacho trying to link it up. Given away to Sofal. Back to Garnacho, who shoots is blocked. Then Mainu. And that's misjudged by Areola. Not great goalkeeping there. A bit amateur that. Kobe Mainu strikes it with his instep. And then Areola should just be catching it this one. Diving to his right and catching the ball, but doesn't get his hands in the right position and ends up parrying it wide for the corner. Another unforced error. West Ham have another corner to defend. Fernandez goes it right to the edge of the box. Garnacho was there but cleared away by West Ham. And Kudus trying to win the throw in. Does not do so. Last touch off him. Shaw has the throw. Fernandez back to Luke Shaw. Manchester United are looking for a goal. Something they haven't found in 3 straight games in all competitions. Didn't find a goal against Liverpool last week, although they weren't probably trying to find one, trying to hold on. Didn't find it against Bayern the week previous at home, and then failed to score against Bournemouth in a 3-0 defeat at home as well. Our last goal came against Chelsea at the start of the month on the 6th of December. So it's been a good 17 days since Manchester United have scored. That's 3 consecutive games, and they've failed to win. You know, of course, any of those games, obviously, you can't score. You don't score, you can't win in football, unless it's an own goal. But I mean, that really doesn't count, surely. Well, won back by Wan-Bissaka. Mainu. Now Hoyland. Manchester United building in play here. Anthony again, trying to run through himself and just run into about 4 or 5 West Ham bodies. And the referee's pulled this right back for a free kick. West Ham fans are not happy because they wanted the advantage played, but the referees pulled it back for the free kick to West Ham, which again is baffling because they have the ball and they were playing advantage. I mean, Emerson won the ball and then he went in for a challenge with Fernandes. Fernandes did go down, but I mean, yeah, it's a late one by Emerson, but I mean, he does win the ball first and it's kind of the follow through on Bruno Fernandes, but not much in that for me. West Ham do get the free kick anyway. That's one man that hasn't been heavily involved in Man United's attack and play so far, and Bruno Fernandes. So 32 touches, 92% of passing accuracy, but at the moment, usually he's the key creative force. So far, it's been the wide areas that Manchester United have found the space, and here's Luke Shaw again running through and pulled back by Mohamed Kudus, and that'll be a free kick to Manchester United and a yellow card for Mohamed Kudus. Bit naive there, but Luke Shaw does really, really well. Steps in field and just charges into the space. There was nothing else Kudus could do but take him down, and that was really smart from Luke Shaw. And now Manchester United have a free kick where they can keep the possession, and with 2.5 minutes of the first half to go, still 0-0 at the London Stadium, which will be positive for Manchester United because they feel that they can grow into this game and create, start to be more attacking and cause more problems. They've had already 3 shots on target. This time I've only had the one. That was a long, long time ago. That's nice from United again. McTominay puts the cross in, and Garnacho was the only man that made it at the back post. Puts it wide. Really good movement again. It was McTominay. I'll see this again. Starts at the back. Really good through ball. McTominay flicks it on for Anthony, who just fires it across the 6-yard box into that corridor danger with a cross. Really good dinked cross by Anthony, bouncing across the box, and the only one there at the back post was Alejandro Garnacho, but Højlund was there too and couldn't get the connection on it. Ended up wide for Manchester United, but they're getting closer. That's will be something that will disappoint David Moyes, that his side started the better of the two teams, but kind of fallen away and not been able to take advantage of that early pressure and early dominance in the game that they had in attacking areas. Welcome in, Stephen. Good afternoon to you, and Merry Christmas to you too. Great to have you with us. We're going to analyse this first half at half time and talk about what we've still to come on over LFS over the festive period, right up until the FA Cup games on the 4th of January. I'll bring you up to date with all of that at half time as well. Last minute of the half. The last minute of the 45. Referee and the officials have any sense, they'll call an end to this first half pretty quickly. Get both sides a bit of half-time instruction. Make them better in the game. Wan-Bissaka caught on the ball, but the referee's going to pull it back for an earlier challenge on Kobe Mainoo by Lucas Paquetá, and that will be a Man United free kick, which is not a popular decision around the London Stadium. I mean, it was a bit in that last moment, that last 30 seconds really sums up the game. It's been sloppy. Both sides have not been particularly anywhere near their best. And Lucas Paquetá was a very, very late challenge. I mean, the ball's well gone before Paquetá even goes for the challenge, but which will give Man United a free kick. So we will have 3 additional minutes anyway at the end of the half, which we've already played 45 seconds, and the free kick floated in. Didn't make its way to the United's attackers. Souček with the clearance. And now Kudus can use his pace to burst forward. Evans on the cover. And that's going to be a free kick to West Ham. The assistant on that side is going to give West Ham the free kick, and Johnny Evans is going to get a yellow card as Kudus breaks down the right hand side, gets past Mainu, and Evans trying to cover over, help out, and then it's just a late lunge by Evans. It was nowhere near the ball. Kudus put it out for the throw in, but he'll get the free kick in the end. Johnny Evans gets a yellow card for his troubles. So right towards the end of the half, this could be another option for West Ham, although set pieces, they haven't been able to capitalise upon them yet. Man United have been pretty comfortable at defending West Ham's set pieces so far, but can they have a positive end of the half, West Ham, after coming under the cosh a bit in the last 10 minutes? Ward-Prowse, right-footed cross, deep to the back post, headed on, and wide by Thomas Soucek. Similar to the header against Liverpool at Anfield, there was nothing in it. And if I had to question who would be the happier of the two managers at half-time, I would say Erik ten Hag, definitely. Without doubt. I mean, West Ham being the home team, having to respond after that massive thrashing at Anfield on Wednesday night and in the Cup, coming back, last home game of the year, they need a positive performance and they need a win. I mean, they don't need a win for all intents and purposes, but I mean, they would love a win, a positive end of the year at the London Stadium, a year that's been fantastic for them. But so far, it's Manchester United that have worked their game plan to a T in this first half. And they have another free kick to end the half. Man United, one in the West Ham half. We've already just surpassed the 3 added minutes, so this surely will be the last action of the half. Right-footed cross, cleared away. Edge of the box, Wan-Bissaka. Anthony. And that will be the end of the first half. Simon Hooper blows the whistle. And both managers will have stuff to talk about with their sides at the break. David Moyes, I'm sure, will be the man who will feel that his side have missed a lot in that first half. Really weren't at their best, weren't at their level. And Manchester United couldn't capitalise on a few West Ham mistakes. And that is where we are at half-time. At the break at the London Stadium, it is West Ham 0, Manchester United 0. Half-time analysis coming up very shortly. Welcome back to Premier League Live this lunchtime on LFS. Good afternoon, welcome to the festive weekend. A very Merry Christmas to you, of course. 23rd of December, the build-up to the Christmas period continues, and we will have Premier League football right up until that point for you this weekend. We've already seen 2 Premier League games already this weekend, both ending in 1-1 draws. Started on Thursday night as Crystal Palace and Brighton played out a 1-1 draw in that So, well, not many people call it. No one calls it the M23 derby because it's not a derby and it's not the M23. It's a rivalry. Sellers Park, a late Brighton equaliser from Danny Welbeck got them well back into the game, and that got them a 1-1 draw in that one. Brighton, they could have went on and won it. They had all the control of the second half, but couldn't get it in the end. A big result for Sheffield United, the first team to take anything off Aston Villa at Villa Park since back in February. A fantastic run of games for Unai Emery and Aston Villa at home, but that winning run comes to an end against bottom of the league Sheffield United, who held them to a 1-1 draw, and it could have been even better for Sheffield United last night. A late goal in the game from former Villa player Cameron Archer got the goal for Sheffield United in the 87th minute before a first Premier League goal for Nicolo Zaniolo in the 97th minute of 9 added on minutes. In the 7th of those, Nicolo Zaniolo got it level for Villa to secure a point for them on the night, which they could have occupied top spot in the Premier League this weekend. But they weren't able to get the 3 points and do so, which means they sit in second. We'll talk about the table in a moment, and of course at half-time at the London Stadium it's West Ham 0, Manchester United 0. 4 more games to come at 3 o'clock this afternoon. Some interesting fixtures at 3. Fulham Burnley is a good one at Craven Cottage. Fulham, of course, through to the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup in midweek. They play Burnley at 3 o'clock at Craven Cottage. A good game at Kenilworth Road. Luton, of course, back in action after that abandonment of their game against Bournemouth last week at the Kenny. They welcome Newcastle and Eddie Howe to Kenilworth Road at 3 o'clock this afternoon, looking to get points on the board again. Luton, a postponed game for the current club world champions Manchester City against Brentford. They were in action last night, Man City, and beat Fluminense in the Club World Cup final there in Saudi Arabia. I mean, who's interested? No one. Nottingham Forest play Bournemouth at 3 o'clock. Bournemouth, of course, back in action after that abandonment to that Luton game last week, which means they have a game in hand over everyone else, Luton and Bournemouth. And they face a Nottingham Forest side under new management at 3 o'clock this afternoon. Nuno Espirito Santo, former Spurs and Wolves manager, in charge at Nottingham Forest this afternoon, taking charge of his first game. Will they have a new manager bounce, or will Bournemouth be able to keep the dismal run of Nottingham Forest going? They have the worst record in form of any team in the Premier League this season. 14 points they are on at the moment, and they are getting ever closer to that relegation zone by week by week at this point. Nottingham Forest. So they play at 3 o'clock. And the big game, shall we say, two sides with very different aspirations. Spurs can go into the top 4 this afternoon if they win at home against Everton and get into that top 4 and push Man City out of the top 4 this afternoon. Of course, Man City haven't played, so that's the main reason, of course. And Spurs will face Everton at 3 o'clock. And then we have the big one tonight, Liverpool against Arsenal. That is the big one. Do not forget about that. Liverpool-Arsenal, live from Anfield at 5:30 this afternoon. The top 2, well, prior to this weekend, they were the top 2. It's first against third at the moment, but either side can be top of the table at the end of this weekend with a win. Arsenal don't even need a win. They only need a draw, and they will remain top of the league this weekend for Christmas. Liverpool can steal that if they can win against Arsenal this evening at 5:30 for that one. And then we finish off on Christmas Eve, Wolves against Chelsea from Molineux tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Right, so half-time at the London Stadium. Let's just run you through the half-time stats then, and we'll talk about what's coming up on LFS over the festive period till to come. Manchester United have had 62% of the ball in that first half, 38% for West Ham, so Man United dominating the ball. They've had more shots as well, Manchester United, 6 to West Ham's 5. They've had more shots on target, 3 to West Ham's 1. And more corner kicks as well, 3 to West Ham's 2. So certainly grew into the game. Manchester United towards the end of that half. It was pretty even to start the game. West Ham probably dominated a bit more early on, and then the game fizzled out. It was kind of for about 20 minutes to the middle of that half. It was just nothing going on. Neither side can keep attacks going and maintain possession for a reasonable amount of time. And then Manchester United took a bit of a foothold in the game towards the end of the half, but couldn't make that possession and attacking play count in the end. They had a few chances, some close ones, but none ending into the back of the West Ham net, which will give them confidence for the second half. But I'm sure David Moyes will have a lot to say to his players at the break about their first half performance, and I'm sure he will not be saying many good words indeed. They won, of course, against Manchester United here back in May, and they'll be hoping for more of that this afternoon. Man United, without a win in 3, without a goal in 3 games respectively, could extend that to 4 this afternoon, of course, if they don't win. And they could drop as low as 8th this afternoon, Manchester United, if they lose this afternoon. So they would be 8th in the table if they lose today. Of course, Brighton already played this weekend. They cannot get any closer to Manchester United than that this weekend's. And it will mean that teams above them will start to try and push away. If West Ham can win, and Newcastle win, and Spurs win, all at 3 o'clock, Manchester United could see themselves kind of closer to 9th and 10th than the top 7 by the end of this weekend, but we will see how that plays out. Right, we have 2 games on Boxing Day for you, and these are what's coming up. We've made a nice graphic and all for it. 2 crackers on Boxing Day. We're at Turf Moor at 5:30 as Burnley host Liverpool. Liverpool, if they win this afternoon, could take even further advantage if they go top of the table, and they face Burnley on Boxing Day here at 5:30 before the big one to round off Boxing Day. You can tune in, get a sandwich, leftovers, and some chocolate sweets as well, and pull some crackers while we're watching this one. Manchester United against Aston Villa. That's at 8 o'clock on Boxing Day. What a setup that is. 2 very good teams. Well, who knows? Aston Villa in good form. Manchester United, well, we know where they are at the moment. That's at 8 o'clock on Boxing Day. Also then, over the festive period, I can just run you through what's coming up. Everton against Manchester City at Kudus, that's at 8:15 on the 27th. On the 28th, we have a London derby as Arsenal host West Ham. On the 28th, that's also at 8:15. Before we have a game on New Year's Eve for you, Fulham against Arsenal at 2 o'clock on New Year's Eve. And we have a sprinkling of NFL action in there. And we start 2024 with a massive one. Liverpool against Newcastle. That's on New Year's Day at 8 o'clock on LFS. So around 4 minutes to go before the second half. Let me just remind you then, of course, that Liverpool-Arsenal game later this evening. Decide who is top at Christmas. Who will take the top spot? Will Liverpool climb to the summit once again at Christmas? Or will Arsenal keep and hold top spot for Christmas Day? We will find out tonight at 5:30 from Anfield, and we get team news from that one around 4:30 this afternoon. Do let us know if you want us to do the 3 o'clockers. Maybe we will be able to do that. I don't think actually we will. We will keep you updated with the 3 o'clockers at 5:30. We'll run you through all of those games at 5:30 actually this evening. Just to get to one of our chats, Yashto says remove the dormant players, McTominay, Fernandes and Hoyland, give chance to motivated players like Pellistri, Hannibal, etc. to play. That's a fair point. Fair point. Young players seeming to be doing the business at the moment for Manchester United. Kobe Mainoo who's been a real revelation in midfield of recent weeks. It's the experienced players that aren't doing the business at the moment for United. We will see if they can do the business in the second half. The second half gets underway in just a couple of minutes. Welcome back to Premier League Live then. Right, almost ready for the second half. The two sets of players out on the field again, and West Ham have been out for a good while, a couple of minutes. And David Moyes clearly making his point across and getting the players back out in the field to fulfil that kind of vision that David Moyes has probably given them at the half-time and probably put them in their place. After that performance in the first half, not something of great concern for Manchester United, really, and that front. And they get us back underway then, the home side, hoping for a more positive second half, where they attack from right to left in this second 45, and they start it by giving away a free kick. It was a first half that really didn't show off what West Ham have got to offer very much. The counter-attacking wasn't really kind of spotted as much. That's what they usually love to do, is counter-attacking football, West Ham, but there weren't many occasions in that first half where that was actually visible and clearly played out by West Ham. It's probably helped out Manchester United in the end, not being able to be put under early pressure. Here's Areola, goes long, trying to find the run of Paquetá. He takes it down on the left hand side. There's so many bodies around him there, but can't win a throw, and he thought he did initially, but he had the last touch, and United take the throw in quickly with Wan-Bissaka. Well, pretty good news so far for Manchester United, as we haven't had to talk about the debutant at centre back, Willy Campoala, although he's under pressure here by Bowen and does really well. Gets it back to his keeper, now Evans. And that's a good thing, that a young player in this team of Manchester United, we know the troubles that they have and we know where they are in their position, but the fact that he's gone under the radar and he hasn't been a talking point of the first half is a good thing for a young player, in that he's just getting on with the job and doing a solid job so far. That's what you need to do. If you want to perform, you need to show that you can be trusted. West Ham win it back though. Here's Bowen charging at Evans, gives it out wide to Kudus. Kudus on the right, he's got Sufal in the overlap, goes for the cross, almost reaching the head of Ward-Prowse. Now Paquetá on the left flank, keeps it alive. Anthony trying to battle with him. Paquetá, nice quick feet, takes the strike, blocked. Body on the line from Campoala there. Manchester United try and get an outlet. Anthony finds it to Kobe Mainoo. Back to Anthony in space. He's got Fernandes to his right, Hoyland through the middle, but gives it to McTominay alongside him. Now Garnacho flicks it on for Shaw. Shaw at the byline, cuts it across. Fernandes with a header over the bar. Too high, but good counter-attack from United there. All started with Anthony winning the ball back. And Kobe Mainoo playing the ball through. Getting Anthony on the run and linking it all up there for United. Positive from both teams there in attacking areas to start the half. Probably the most entertaining 3 minutes we've seen of the whole game. The start of this half. Have to be honest, you know. Evans, Campoala, McTominay, Aaron Wan-Bissaka to Anthony now on the right hand side. Back to Wan-Bissaka. Has to go back to Willy Campoala. Johnny Evans. Down the left hand side is Shaw now, running through On the spin was Fernandez, but lost the control of the ball and cleared away by Mavropanos. One back by Shaw, but couldn't keep the ball in play. West Ham throw in. Let's see if this energy, this tempo of a game continues right the way through the half, because both managers will most certainly have wanted more from their teams at half time. Felt that they both could have done more. I mean, one thing I didn't look at half time was the passing accuracy of that first half, and it was pretty alright. I mean, 84% for West Ham, 85% for Manchester United, so not massively under par, but it's not something that was an issue in the first half, I would have to say. But usually when you see a game like that, it is an issue from the first half. Just neither side could have really couldn't keep the ball for very long. Wan-Bissaka though. Now Mainu looking for a switch ball. Lovely fizz ball to Sean. Tried to go for the cross first time, but Edson Alvarez got in the way. Now finds Kudus down the right flank. Got space to drive through the middle. Mohamed Kudus using his pace and battling with Fernandez, and Fernandez comes out the worst of the two, and he gets a yellow card. Bruno Fernandes, the Manchester United captain, was suspended against Liverpool, of course, for an accumulation of yellow cards. Got a yellow card against Bournemouth in the Prem, and that 3-0 defeat at Old Trafford, and got himself suspended for the Liverpool game. And now back in action, and back in the book of the referee again, Bruno Fernandes. Although that West Ham free kick comes to absolutely nothing, because Manchester United have the ball and they've just won a throw in. So just confirmation there of that yellow card for Bruno Fernandes, just saying. So that's something that Manchester United need to be careful of as well, is yellow cards. You know, although we're getting to the threshold level of getting to that halfway point of the season where 5 yellow cards will not get you a suspension at this point of the season, but I mean, they need to keep it pretty tight, because you can't be losing too many players. I mean, they don't have Diogo Dalot because of his 2 yellow cards against Liverpool last week. Remember, that was a strange decision, I think, on the day by the referee. I don't think that was a yellow card, but it was given. I mean, they're 9th in terms of yellow cards this season, Manchester United. 40 prior to kickoff. 40 yellow cards this season. You compare that to the likes of Arsenal and Liverpool, who are the bottom 2 in terms of yellow cards this season. 22 for Arsenal, 30 for Liverpool. So nowhere near the likes of Manchester United and those top 10. So it is an issue for United, clearly. West Ham have another free kick, and one bit of information we're hearing from the sidelines is that Erik ten Hag has just told his captain to calm down after on a yellow card. Cross from Ward-Prowse, and again more collision in these West Ham free kicks, and there's 4 players down, 2 for each team. There's Bowen and Wan-Bissaka and Kurt Zouma and Johnny Evans all went down on the edge of the box, whatever that was about. Man United have got the free kick for it. Jesus. I mean, Kurt Zouma, he's coming in like a sumo wrestler there. Straight in at Johnny Evans. It's like a wrestling move. Takes him to the floor and then knocks the other 2 players over. It's like 10-pin bowling. My goodness me. Kurt Zouma. Oh, my goodness. It's quite shocking, really. Kambuala has it back for United. Back to Onana, who himself hasn't been tested as much as many of us would have suspected at this point of the game. I said I would keep you up to date with the game at Elland Road in the Championship. Well, 7.5 minutes gone there in the second half, and Leeds have just made it 4. Leeds have just scored their 4th goal of the game there. complete dominance from them. They scored a third just before half-time. Crescencio Somerville with a penalty. And now Joel Pirro has scored at the start of the second. A 4-0 thrashing, it seems to be, for Ipswich. And there's still another 37 minutes to go in that one. It could be a bad day at the office for Michael Carrick and Ipswich. Not Michael Carrick, wrong player. Kieran McKenna and Ipswich at this afternoon. Getting my former United players mixed up there. It's a nice touch by Kudus in field and losing his pace to burst forward again. Good challenge by McTominay, but one back by Suchek. Emerson. Now Paquetá. Bowen makes the run off of Kambuala. Under pressure, back to Emerson now. Bowen. Emerson's made the run in behind, down the left, trying to put the cross in, and will be a corner. Deflection and a corner for West Ham United. Really good. Kambuala steps in. It forces Wan-Bissaka to go wide for Emerson. Neither of them can get in the way of Emerson. He just runs through down the left-hand side and wins West Ham a corner. And the home crowd, positive, hopeful. And they'll be hoping it for an opening goal here. James Ward-Prowse to stand over this set piece. Right footed in, swinging corner it will be. Whipped in. Right the way across. Pace on it! And the header at the back post from Jared Bowen. And really good reactionary save from Andre Onana. Really good. Bowen with a clean header on it and forcing Onana to jump full stretch up to his right hand side and palms it over the bar. Really good goalkeeping, but a fantastic header by Bowen initially. Another corner. Same delivery, bit deeper this time. Cleared away and Kudus connects with it, but over the bar. And behind for the goal kick. Another positive moment for West Ham, but good goalkeeping by Onana. I mean, I don't even know what Anthony's trying to do defensively against Bowen there. He kind of gets out of his way. He doesn't try and block him whatsoever. And that would have been a corner. They're going to make a change here, United. Rasmus Højlund, the man yet to get a Premier League goal at United, is coming off. And Marcus Rashford is coming on in his place. Rashford, who's been a recent resident of the bench of recent times. He's on the pitch this afternoon and looking to try and make an impact. He's had 2 Premier League goals this season, Marcus Rashford. That's another concern for United. A lot of their forwards haven't had many Premier League goals this season. And that is a real worry for Erik ten Hag. I mean, their top goal scorer is Scott McTominay with 5 Premier League goals. Next to that is Bruno Fernandes on 3, and then Rashford on 2. Which is actually quite pathetic when you think about it. No offence. Rashford getting himself involved and forcing Emerson to put the ball out of play. And we'll get the throw in for Manchester United. But just as I go back to see a replay here, Onana was under pressure. Evans to Onana again. What a shambles that is. Goodness me. Johnny Evans farted straight past back to Onana. That could have went anywhere. Got away with it though, United. It was pressure from West Ham on that occasion, but they got out of it. Here's Garnacho, finds McTominay. Now Anthony on the right flank. Not much space to move, gives it back to McTominay. We'll go now to the left hand side. Here's Luke Shaw. Fernandes back to Shaw. Quicker movement of the ball here. Luke Shaw again. Now Kambuala. Down the right is Anthony. Back to Willie Kambuala. to go all the way back to Luke Shaw, who's the last man for United there. Well, we look at passes and we look at possession and we look at control in a game. And more often than not, all three of those go in hand. Of course, possession, passes completed, and ball control, they all usually work in the same favour. Manchester United have had more passes, more than double the passes completed that West Ham have had in this game. Oh, no free kick on Paquetá there. I thought that was coming. Anthony trying to break down the right, get into the past Suchek at the byline, and a real scramble for the ball. And Emerson can get, or Paquetá, sorry, can get it cleared. The referee letting a few things go there. That probably should have been free kicks, but the referee Simon Hooper said no and waved them away. And Kudus did well to win it back for West Ham again. Areola goes long. There's a man down here for West Ham. It's Edson Alvarez. He's feeling something here. Bruno Fernandes, as typical, over arguing with the referee about something. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to turn this into a Bruno Fernandes rant, but I mean, honestly, what's he doing? Leave the referee alone. Really good from Kudus to win the ball back. And David Moyes still in deep thought on the sidelines. Remember, 60 minutes gone, still 0-0. This side have only had one shot on target in the second half. United yet to have a shot on target in the second half, though. West Ham having more of the attack in play in this second period, but nothing to show for it just yet. Areola takes the free kick. Or the kick, sorry. And that last touch is off Luke Shaw from that long ball. It will be a West Ham throw-in. Bit unforced that. 63% of the ball for United to West Ham's 37. So they're definitely dominating more of the ball, United. But so far, as we've seen for West Ham, they like to have little possession. And that's where they find them most of their attack and play. Throw in taken. Cleared away. Emerson battling. Garnacho running through here for United. Blocked off. Good defending by Edson Alvarez, who was down on the floor a moment ago and did really well at covering over Alejandro Garnacho. That was good from Garnacho again. He's been the main outlet for Manchester United this afternoon. He's been bursting down that left-hand side, has found good moments. So far, that's probably all Manchester United can call them. Wouldn't call them phases of play. Wan-Bissaka. Nice run from McTominay. Now Anthony. And Anthony trying to link up with McTominay. He will get a throw in though. Paquetá had the last touch. The Brazilian didn't agree with the assistant on that side. Give him a very sarcastic double thumbs up there, did Lucas Paquetá. Man United back in possession. Onana. Kambuala. I think the West Ham fans will be getting a bit frustrated. The fact that, I mean, this game is pretty dull again. It's fizzled out once again. I mean, we had a very energetic, very high tempo start to the second half, but again, it's one of those ones where both sides are... I mean, would they both be happy with the draw? I don't think so. I think West Ham will be happy with the draw. And if in the end they end up coming away with hanging on against Manchester United, they will be overall, in the end, in the kind of the context of the game, happy with the draw. But I mean, at this moment in time, they will still want to win quite easily, quite clearly. Good play from United though. Fernandes, nice shot on the left-hand side, battling with Kudus. Seen out by Kudus, and the ball won back by Mohamed Kudus, but not getting it cleared away, West Ham, and can't get that out ball to stick. Here's Alvarez. Here's Shaw, look over the cross. Mavropanos there. Trying to help it all out, and it will go for a goal kick because Garnacho had the last touch on that. But again, Manchester United growing in confidence. Manchester United maybe feeling that they can get an opener here and they can try and get 3 points. When we look at their form away from home this season, United, pretty indifferent. I mean, 8 games, 4 wins, 3 defeats and 1 draw. Not an awful record. They don't concede or score many in away games. Both single digits. The only side to have both scored and conceded less than 10 goals away from home this season. 8 scored, 7 conceded. Manchester United away from home this season. West Ham at home have been pretty indifferent themselves. I mean, 8th in terms of the home form table for West Ham this season. 4 wins, 2 draws and 2 defeats at home. And those 2 home defeats, if we go back and have a look, see where those home defeats came. If I try and find them. We're against Manchester City, way early in the season that was. Against Man City, 3-1 here, but that's excusable, obviously. I mean, it's Manchester City. And if I find the other one, then I'm still looking. On Everton. Everton and Man City, the only 2 sides to win on this ground this season in the Premier League. So West Ham will feel confident that they can avoid defeat, but I mean, it's not something they wanted to come into this game thinking, oh, we've avoided defeat, we're happy. I think the expectation was a response from Wednesday night. I mean, 5-1 to Liverpool. I mean, let's be honest, if Liverpool are on cracking form, any team in the Premier League can end up on the wrong end of a 5-1 scoreline. But on that night, West Ham, to be quite honest, were quite pathetic. They offered nothing in that game. Nothing at all. I mean, they had 2 shots on goal in the whole game. They offered very little. So the expectation coming into this one was a response from West Ham. A belief that they could come into this game, dominate Manchester United and cause them proper issues. But so far, I mean, I don't think they've caused them proper issues. I think Manchester United defensively have actually been quite comfortable. Just as I say that, though, Johnny Evans has just committed a foul on Lucas Paquetá, which will give West Ham a free kick. Remember, Johnny Evans is on a yellow card, needs to watch himself. Referee will keep him in close eye on Johnny Evans, the Man United defender. And Ward-Prowse to take this free kick for West Ham. Set pieces is where David Moyes loves to get a goal. He made his side one of the best teams from set pieces, both attacking and defensively, last season. Ward-Prowse with the delivery. Paquetá was the closest, but cleared away by United again. Evans trying to carry it away, and that forces the ball wide for the throw-in to Manchester United. But there is a West Ham player down on the pitch, and it's Mavropanos. He's getting back to his feet, so nothing much doing there. We'll see how that actually came about. Yeah, it's just a clash of heads between Mavropanos and Kobe Mainoo. That's why Mavropanos was down, so they're back on the way anyway. Mavropanos back to his feet. And looks pretty unaffected in the end, which is a good sign. Well, I mean, I don't think anyone will say this is a game that you can't have missed. Unless we have the most exciting last 22 minutes I've ever seen in football, I don't think we're going to get an exciting game overall. I want an exciting game. We haven't got that so far, let's be honest. And if we all be realistic, this has not been one of the most exciting Premier League games of the season. It's been a bit flat. But here's Wan-Bissaka. Try and carry United forward. It's all about getting the result. McTominay linking up with Garnacho. Now Fernandes gives it to Shaw wide on the left. Shaw with a cross, and Garnacho was almost in. Kurt Zouma had to get it away as Garnacho was lurking at the back post from that Luke Shaw cross. And really good from Kurt Zouma to get in, but last ditch again from West Ham. Luke Shaw to get the corner, to take this corner on the left hand side. Their fourth of the game, United. Cross is a bit low. Sofal actually hits Kudus. United have it back. Shaw with a cross again. Bouncing around and headed and cleared away by Emerson in the end. And Fernandez goes all the way back to his keeper. So that again comes to an end. One player I have to mention, I haven't seen much of since he's come onto the pitch, is Marcus Rashford. I mean, I don't think I've said his name many times at all. He's had one touch. That's why. He's had one touch since entering the field. I mean, if there's anything such as lack of impact, I mean, there it is. I mean, it's quite clear. I mean, you saw on Thursday night, you know, Roberto De Zerbi for Brighton made changes, and his substitutions had a massive impact, but Marcus Rashford has had one touch since his appearance in this game, since coming on, and it's not been 2 minutes ago. He came onto the pitch 13 minutes ago, and he has had one touch. I mean, either he's hiding, or they're just not finding him anywhere. I mean, he's drifting in midfield, up at centre forward at the moment, in the middle of the pitch. They're trying to be kind of fluid, Manchester United, but they're actually just being a bit idiotic. Sorry, but let's be honest. I mean, they're trying to interchange forwards, but, you know, Garnacho through the middle at one point and then down the left, and Anthony switching sides, and Rashford being somewhere but nowhere at the same time. I mean, I don't understand what the technique is here. West Ham have it with Kudus in attacking areas. Stephen says they'll tell you it's a poor game because exhaustion and fatigue. I mean, let's get real. Manchester United have had a full 5 days off. They played Liverpool on Sunday, and it's now Saturday lunchtime. They can't have excuses. It's West Ham, out of anyone, that should have an excuse of fatigue and exhaustion. They played Liverpool on Wednesday night at Anfield. Lovely ball, and behind here, Paquetá! Bowen! It's in! Jared Bowen, the man who always pops up for West Ham United, gets his first ever goal against Manchester United. Bowen, the man at the London Stadium. And the Irons are in front. A game that's been flat all the way through so far. And one moment of a burst of pace, a burst of energy from West Ham. A ball over the top by Lucas Paquetá. And Bowen made the run. And Bowen had the finish. West Ham are in front. And they might be getting an early Christmas present from Jared Bowen. This incredible pass. Lucas Paquetá. Bowen lays it off to Paquetá. And then an incredible ball over the top. Perfectly timed by Paquetá. Outside of the left. Really good flick on. Bowen just drifting in behind the United defence. And he's just there. Onana can't get a good connection on it. And he just taps it in past the United keeper. Into the back of the net. And Jared Bowen has West Ham 1 up. This is maybe what this game needed. A goal to change the dynamics. David Moyes is probably one of the happiest inside the London Stadium. But 60,000 inside this stadium are jubilant. And he will be their saviour today if he does come out the man who's won this game for West Ham United. West Ham 1, Manchester United 0. Man United have made another change actually after that goal. Facundo Pellistri has come on and he has replaced Anthony. Here's Paquetá. Bowen now through the middle again, but really good by... Well, one back by Bowen. He lost it initially. Bowen has it back on the right flank. Jared Bowen linking up with Sofal. Sofal with a cross. Kudus was there, blocked away. And then the foul against Edson Alvarez there, which will give United a free kick. Stephen says Rashford is a champion of hide and seek. Another yellow card here. I don't think it's for Alvarez. It's for Lucas Paquetá. I think he kicked the ball away. Yeah. I knew it wasn't for the foul, because the foul is never a yellow card challenge. But Lucas Paquetá in the book. And honestly, the pass from Paquetá is something of pure beauty. It's poetry in motion. It's fantastic. And the finish from Bowen, I mean, it's cool, calm, composed. It's what Jared Bowen is in front of goal. It's everything that epitomises Jared Bowen. And now, that's his 11th Premier League goal of the season. Only Erling Haaland has scored more Premier League goals this campaign than Jared Bowen. He's level with Mo Salah on 11. Fantastic. A real top-class player, Bowen. Fernandes now threading it through for Rashford. Oh, he's made a touch. Here is Rashford trying to put it across, and West Ham had to get in the way and did so. Clear their lines. Marcus Rashford, he had more touches in that moment than he's had in the 20 minutes he's been on the pitch since. And there's a foul on Lucas Paquetá here, which will give Manchester United, or West Ham United, sorry, a bit of a reprieve. Again, I think it's Johnny Evans. Yeah, it's Johnny Evans. I mean, he's nowhere near the ball. He needs to watch himself, honestly. He's on a yellow card, Johnny Evans, and he's still putting in those kind of quite physical challenges on opposition players. It's something Simon Hooper will need to keep an eye on. Man United can't afford to lose another centre-back. I mean, who will we be playing next? I don't even know who's next on the list to play centre-back at Manchester United. And I mean, we have to talk about it. We have to mention the injuries to Manchester United. I mean, defensively, they've no Diogo Dalot. He's suspended. No Harry Maguire. He's out through injury. They've got injuries to Casemiro, Malacia, etc., etc. Rafa Varane is out with an illness today. Here's Bowen again. Bowen! Saved by Onana. Here's Ward-Prowse in the box, though. Falls to Emerson with a block. West Ham certainly pushing for a second to wrap this game up. Oh, lovely carry from Sofal. Looking for the cross. Blocked off and headed away by United. They're clinging on here, Manchester United. They're holding on. They're desperate to hold on because West Ham are pushing for even more than just the one goal they have at the moment. And now a rising chorus of "Come on, you Irons" around the London Stadium. 60,000 loud. That throw in comes to nothing from West Ham. Don't forget, more Premier League action this evening at Anfield. Third successive game at Anfield this week. We've been covering. We've got another London club coming to town. It's Arsenal this time. Top of the league, Arsenal will face third place Liverpool for who will be top at Christmas. Liverpool need to win to be top at Christmas. Arsenal only need to avoid defeat. Here's Mohamed Kudus for West Ham. Kudus slots it home. And Manchester United are going to lose away from home again. Mohamed Kudus with the finish. Another man who's in firing form for West Ham at the moment. Unstoppable. And that could be it on the day. Lovely finish again. Completely different from Jared Bowen's one, but equally as good, if not more. And Mohamed Kudus just making it even better for West Ham. And really digging in that knife and twisting it into the Manchester United's chest. West Ham 2, Man United 0. It's gone from bad to worse for Erik ten Hag, who might now be coming back under a bit of pressure. West Ham 2, Manchester United 0. I mean, it's a beautiful ball initially. Kudus 2-on-1, just gets away, finds the space in the box somehow. It's a misplaced by Menu. Lovely from Paquetá again. Lays it off to Kudus. He just finds the space on the edge of the box, right-footed, in step with his right foot. And he just finds the bottom left corner. Lovely. David Moyes goes mad on the sidelines. And he is loving it at the moment. And this could be back-to-back wins against Manchester United for West Ham. They won 1-0 in the summer. And to end the year, they could be on the end of another 3-pointer against Manchester United. And West Ham, I mean, I don't think either side have really kind of made headlines for themselves today. Well, this will be the first time that West Ham have won successive games against Manchester United since they've done it 3 times back in 06-07 when they won 3 in a row against United, both home and away, and didn't concede in any of the 3. All 1-0 wins for West Ham. That's the first time they've will win successive games against United since 2006-2007. Goodness me. Well, Manchester United can't claim that they didn't have chances. They had opportunities. They've had opportunities in this game. They haven't taken them. And when you do get chances in the Premier League, you have to take them. Otherwise, you get punished at the other end. And Rashford's just had a shot from distance, well over the bar. And Stephen says, kudos to Kudus. I love that. I'm going to keep that. I'm going to use that from now on. Thank you, Stephen, for that inventive message. Kudos to Kudus. He gets the second for West Ham tonight. This afternoon. And Bruno Fernandes looks as happy as ever. Oh, sorry, I just can't help myself. It's great to see West Ham doing well. Manchester United in a very difficult spot at the moment. I mean, this could be now 4 games on the bounce without a goal. If that happens, I mean, I don't even know when that last happened again for Manchester United. I mean, you don't even have stats go back that far. I'm sure we'll hear in the post game, and surely we'll talk about it then. But honestly, the questions will still be massively, and the question marks will be growing ever more against Erik ten Hag. I mean, a season and a half at Manchester United, and where have they gone? They've actually probably gone backwards in terms of their performances, because I mean, results, they've still been getting results because it's Manchester United. They still get results. They have quality players, but their performances have been poor. I mean, beyond poor. I mean, I actually am baffled as to how you can be this poor in possession. You know, they've created a couple of chances, but they've not really taken the grasp. And I mean, credit to them, because I mean, in the end, it is tough, injuries and interchanging players, not having kind of constant partnerships on the pitch all the time. It does cause teams problems, and you lose your fluidity and your kind of team spirit and your team kind of cohesion, and that doesn't help a side, especially going away to a tough place like West Ham, where West Ham have a very good record this season. They're in a very good position, an even better position. They'll be moving up to 6th or with a win this afternoon. But I mean, for Manchester United, I mean, we're back to, you know, extremes again. You know, last week it was talk of they were controlled, they were hard working, they were fighting, they were giving everything in the game to stop Liverpool from scoring. And full credit to them for stopping Liverpool. Only team to do it at Anfield this season. At this moment in time, every other game has been a Liverpool win at home this season. So credit to Manchester United for that. But at the end of the day, you know, you're not going to be really sorry, I was talking there and I just seen something. Manchester United are going to make a double change as well at this moment in time. Johnny Evans, if he doesn't come off here, I don't know what he's doing, because he's going to get himself sent off. He's putting in weird, mad challenges. But as I was saying, credit to them for getting something against Liverpool. But it's quite pathetic. You know, Bournemouth, nothing. They were useless in that game. Then against Bayern Munich at home, they showed more fight, but Bayern just showed their quality and beat them in the end. Then against Liverpool, they fought back, they worked hard, they stepped up to Liverpool's level in a way, or either vice versa, Liverpool dropped to their level. Either way, they matched Liverpool and they got a result out of that game. They come into this one having a week's rest, and you think maybe they could do something. You know, they're coming into this one, they'll have rest, they'll have players ready to fire and go again. But again, it's been one of those games where it's actually benefited Manchester United for it to be a bad game, because they've not really done much to really kind of make us feel otherwise or make it seem otherwise in the game. They've not really done anything shockingly to create massive chances. And no discredit to West Ham, they've taken their chances when they've come, and they've taken them beautifully. Jared Bowen and Mohamed Kudus respectively. Lucas Paquetá, I mean, 2 fantastic assists from him. But credit to West Ham, but also at the same time you have to look at Manchester City or Manchester United and say, you know, what are you actually expecting? You know, what do you want? Because what is the vision? Because no one actually knows. No one can actually kind of categorically point out what the vision is at Manchester United. No one knows. I don't even think they know what they're trying to do. I mean, yes, maybe if they get all their players back fully fit and they have a fully fit squad, maybe they can start working on that. But shouldn't they have been working on that last season? Building a foundation, which they did very well last season. Let's not forget, they finished 3rd in the Premier League and won a cup. That's as good as foundation as you can get. But they didn't kind of build on that. What they've done this season is they've kind of eroded away at that foundation, and it's just not there anymore. There's no confidence. The injuries are causing them even more problems. People aren't afraid of them. You know, teams aren't afraid to go at Manchester United because they know, more often than not, you're probably going to get something. That's both away from home and at Old Trafford and at your home ground as well. You know, there's no fear factor about Manchester United anymore. You know, teams play them expecting to get chances, expecting to be, you know, able to do something in the game. You know, Bournemouth going to Old Trafford, it's not a coincidence. But that win for Bournemouth is their first ever against Manchester United at Old Trafford in the Premier League. It's not a coincidence that's the factor. It's not a coincidence. It's also not a coincidence that Manchester United have failed to score in the last 4 games. There's no coincidences there. That's down to performances, which have not been there. I mean, I don't think there's a single Manchester United player on that field this afternoon that say that they have fought and give everything for the cause, because I don't think they have. And from what I've seen this afternoon, it's been pretty lackluster. I mean, even from West Ham as well, they haven't been at their best. But one credit of a good side and a team that are in good form and a team that have a bit about them is that they can win when not being at their best. It almost seems like Manchester United need to be at their top best to get something out of a game, which to me shows that there's no team cohesion. It's all about moments. You know, we talked about this. I mean, this has been the topic of conversation at Manchester United for at least 4 or 5 years, if not more, a decade at least, where managers come and go and try and build things, and they just don't get it right. I mean, I don't know what the formula is anymore. I don't know what you're meant to do. I don't think anyone knows what's meant to happen at Manchester United anymore, because they've gone so long at doing it the wrong way that no one knows anymore what the right way actually is. You know? But we will see what happens, because Manchester United, I mean, I've no idea where they go from here. I mean, is sacking a manager going to do anything? No. Let's be real. Let's get down to business and let's be honest here. Sacking Erik ten Hag would do no different. There's clearly an issue with the set of players on the field. And I'm not going to sit and slate every single Manchester United player that we've seen this afternoon. But let's get it right. I mean, Onana's not been at level. He was brought in to be the next big goalkeeper at Manchester United. He's not at the level this season. I mean, right fullback, I mean, Dallow's been okay, but I mean, Wan-Bissaka's not at the level that he needs to be. I mean, they're playing centre-back partnerships galore. They've no Lisandro Martinez, which is fair enough, who was a very good, strong defender for them. And Rafa Varane's not at the moment, so that's fair enough. They don't have their usual centre-back partnership, which is fine. That's a pretty good reason for you not being cohesive. But Luke Shaw coming back, I mean, he's probably been the bright spark in Manchester United's team this season. Midfield, McTominay. I mean, if you're relying on Scott McTominay in your midfield in the Premier League, you're not going to go very far. Young player in Kobbie Mainoo, I think he's been fantastic since he's come in. But I mean, is he going to be the extent that can you just rely on a young player all the time? No, you need to add experience to help out. Bruno Fernandes, arguably one of the worst Premier League captains I've seen this season. Out of all 20 clubs, I don't think he's a captain. I don't think he's a leader. I think he's a huff. I think he's a grump. And I think if things don't go his way, he takes the neck with the referee. I mean, is that a leader? Is that someone you want leading your football club? No. Not for me. I wouldn't want that. West Ham have a free kick here. Trying to go for a third to put the cherry on the top of the icing on top of the cake. That was a long sentence, that. I think I got that one wrong. That free kick comes to nothing, by the way. But as I was saying, I mean, Bruno Fernandes is not the captain you want. I mean, let's be real. He's arrogant. You know, we saw Roy Keane last week talk about Virgil van Dijk being arrogant and saying that only one team came to win. Let's be honest. He was right. Did Manchester United come down to Anfield expecting to win? Or wanting to win? No. They came to try and keep Liverpool out and get a draw. That's what they did. I mean, that's what Park the Bus football is all about. Manchester United in attack here. No. The flag goes up against him. So, it's arrogance from Bruno Fernandes. So, Roy Keane honestly has a cheek to talk about the Liverpool captain being arrogant. The Manchester United captain is as arrogant as they come. He thinks he's prime Ronaldo, you know, and has the impact of prime Ronaldo. Ronaldo's won things. Bruno Fernandes has won a Carabao Cup. He has no right to act the way he acts and as arrogant as he acts at times. And I would say he is the least leader-like player in that Manchester United team. I don't know where their leaders come from. They don't have any. I don't see a leader in that team. I mean, Raphael Varane, maybe. I mean, a World Cup winner, a very good defender, a very experienced footballer. But other than that, I mean, is there actually a captain like a player that you think is worthy of a captain's armband at Manchester United? I don't think so. I mean, it's mostly been youth players that have worked out for Manchester United this season. I mean, Kobbie Mainoo, fantastic. Played really, really well. Been actually faultless in midfield for them this season so far since he's come in. Alejandro Garnacho, very, very good player. He's actually come off the field today. But he has been very, very good this season. Rasmus Højlund has been as an anticlimax as anything I've ever seen in recent history. I mean, regarded as one of the next best strikers, one of the next best things. 70-odd million pounds, and he's yet to score a Premier League goal, and we're almost halfway through the season. So there we go. That says that. We have the spinning man out at right wing in Anthony. Loves a good bit of skill, but I mean, you need to add skill with goals and attack and play, and all he can do is cut inside from the right onto his left foot and strike. I mean, if goalkeepers get a whiff of that, they'll save that every day. I mean, he'll probably have one or two good screamers in his career, but I mean, honestly, if that's the only characteristic you have in your attack and play, I mean, you're not going to get very far. So, summing it all up, this long rant that I didn't expect to be going on, but here we are. Manchester United are not at the level they should be. That's quite evident. But to be honest, where do they go from here? I don't know. They've got Villa on Boxing Day. Good luck. That's all I've got to offer you. Good luck. Then they've got Nottingham Forest away, a tough atmosphere, new manager, maybe a new manager bounce at Forest. Maybe they're in a bit of positive form by that point. Who knows what could happen there? That's on the 30th. And then they've got a cup game. So they've got a bit of time, a week or so between the Forest game away and then Wigan away in the FA Cup. Then they've got a run of Tottenham at home in January, and that's their only Premier League game in January. Then they've got Wolves, West Ham, Villa, Luton, Fulham, Man City, all the way up to the start of March. I mean, a mix of games where they should be winning and games that they'll be hoping that they can try and eke something out of. I don't know where Manchester United go from here. Out of the cup. Nowhere near a top 4 race at the moment. I mean, currently sitting down in 8th. 6 points off top 4. And that's Spurs can go into that top 4 and extend that kind of gap to 8 points this afternoon if they beat Everton. So there's no positive signs at the moment from Manchester United. I have no idea where they go from here. Who knows? Last minute of the 96 added, the 6 added on. 95th minute we are just surpassed, and West Ham have been pretty good. I mean, not at their best. And David Moyes will be the first to put his hands up and say, look, we weren't at our very best today. But they got the result. That's what matters. When you're not at your best, you have to win games of football. David Moyes knows that more than anyone. And they've done that today. West Ham. They have been not at their top level, but a lot better than they were against Liverpool. And in the end, they get the result that matters. And that's a win. Which we're about to have confirmed in a couple of moments. Luke Shaw's already also got a yellow card for a foul there that he committed. And we've had multiple amounts of changes, which I haven't kept an eye on because I was on my rant. Ben Johnson's on the field. He played on Wednesday night. Had a tough game on that right flank against Harvey Elliott against Liverpool. That's a West Ham throw-in on the right hand side, and we've played over the 6 added, so United will have a goal kick that will surely call to an end this game. Well, he's taking the goal kick short, and the referee's still playing on. I mean, surely you have to blow the whistle. There's the final whistle. Simon Hooper calls to an end this game, where Manchester United really haven't been able to become unstuck. They're stuck and very much not moving anywhere at the moment. They're dropping down the table. They're in 8th at the moment. West Ham the victors against Manchester United and have kept a clean sheet against United. That's the 4th successive time that Manchester United have failed to score in a game in all competitions. Defeat on the day for Manchester United. A win for the Hammers that pushes them up to 6th. And continues David Moyes' impressive team performance up the table. They've been fantastic, and they get the 3 points on the day here at the London Stadium. A game that didn't have massive quality in it from minute 1, but in the end, Jared Bowen and Mohamed Kudus stepped up and got the 2 goals that give West Ham a very deserved 3 points. Final score from the London Stadium at lunchtime. It's West Ham United 2. Manchester United 0. And don't forget to join us tonight, 5:30, as Liverpool host Arsenal, who will be top of the table at Christmas. We will find out tonight, 5:30, at Liverpool against Arsenal from Anfield. Jurgen Klopp against Mikel Arteta, and Klopp has asked for a Anfield atmosphere. We'll see if that shows up. That's tonight, 5:30 on LFS. From us all here, and from me, Kevin Ferris, commentating this afternoon and hosting this great stream for you. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching, and we'll see you at 5:30. Don't want to miss that one. That's at 5:30. See you then.